Before we officially begin, we'd like to invite our speakers and organizers for a group photo. May our VIP guests please come on stage. Please join us in welcoming Dr. Winkle Low, Dr. Nasser Ali Qaedi, who is joining us here today virtually from Bahrain, Mr. Oscar Chow, Mr. Nicholas Ho, Mr. Ivan Tam, Ms. Difei Pei, Mr. Dennis Ng, Mr. Robert Locke, Ms. Ida Ng, and lastly, Mr. Martin Xu. Would everyone please smile? Let's capture this wonderful moment. Dr. Qaedi, we are also capturing your image from Zoom right now. Thank you for the smile. Thank you very much for this special moment. Please be seated. And to our audience in the hall, please stay seated, smile, and look towards the cameras. Thank you very much. Our webinar officially begins. Hi, I'm Alfred, the MC of today's event. And good afternoon, our honorable audience. Welcome to today's webinar, co-hosted by the Chinese Manufacturers Association of Hong Kong, the CMA, the Bahrain Economic Development Board, the EDB, and the Hong Kong Bahrain Business Association, the HKBBA. Allow me to introduce our esteemed speakers for today. Dr. Winkle Low, BDSJP, President of the CMA. Dr. Nasser Ali Qaedi, Advisor to the Chief Executive of Bahrain EDB. Mr. Oscar Chow, Chairman of the HKBBA. Mr. Nicholas Ho, Commissioner for Belt and Road of CEDB of Hong Kong Government. Mr. Ivan Tam, MH, Secretary General of the HKBBA. And Ms. Difei Pei, Senior Executive, Greater China, International Offices of Bahrain EDB. May I also welcome our VIP guests for being here. They are Mr. Dennis Ng, Vice President of the CMA. Mr. Robert Locke, Vice President of the CMA. Ms. Ida Ng, CDSM, CEO of the CMA. And Mr. Martin Xu, JP, Chairman of the International Affairs Committee of the CMA. And also our special thanks to the CMA's Vice Presidents and committee members joining over the Zoom. Today, we come together to explore economic cooperation between Hong Kong, a global hub for trade and finance, and Bahrain, a dynamic gateway to the Middle East market. First, we move into our remarks. It is my great pleasure to invite Dr. Nasser Ali Qaedi, advisor to the Chief Executive of Bahrain EDB, to deliver his welcome remarks. He represents Bahrain EDB, an investment promotion agency with the responsibility for attracting investment into Bahrain and facilitating foreign businesses in the country. Dr. Qaedi, please.
Thank you very much, Alfred. Thank you all for being here today. It's a pleasure to be and an honor to be with you. Obviously, this is an important event that's being co-hosted between the EDB, the CMA, and the HKBBA, and represents an important follow-through with our previous engagements with yourselves during our past visits to Hong Kong, and obviously your visits as well to Bahrain over the previous period. We, of course, value very strongly the relationship with Hong Kong. It's something that creates a very close bond with Bahrain. We share a lot of similarities. We're both islands with strategic access into each other's region. Hong Kong representing, obviously, positioning itself as a strategic gateway into the ASEAN region and the Chinese market in particular. And of course, Bahrain as the key gateway into the GCC and Gulf region, representing huge opportunities for growth and development for both markets. Of course, this relationship is nothing new. It's something that we've been developing significantly over the past many years. There are long-standing agreements that have taken place between Bahrain and Hong Kong. We have investment protection agreements, double taxation agreements, and many others that are designed to encourage and provide added support and assistance to trade between the two sides. Today's session is going to be very important because we're going to not only elaborate a little bit further about what are the opportunities for further cooperation, but would very much like to explore with you strategic projects that could be deployed that could help accelerate the relationship even further. There are a few areas that we are looking to concentrate on right now, and it's obviously looking into manufacturing, logistics, fintech, technology, and these represent some of the areas which we feel that can catalyze strong growth potential between ourselves and many of your companies who are looking to expand into the region. As we see the global dynamics coming around with trade, tariffs, and uncertainties that are emanating from different regions, we often see that there's huge opportunities in the East and in the Middle East. And so this is something that we want to invest in, and looking into a partnership with yourselves to see how we can act as a partner for your growth, seeing how we can enhance your development and reach into the markets of the GCC and the broader Middle East. Bahrain has been working very closely both on the private sector side to build collaborations, partnerships with yourselves, and looking at how we can create easy access for companies who are looking to either have distribution networks, manufacturing hubs, or even create just connections and links with the marketplace here. So we have multiple institutions that are designed to assist you on this front. The Economic Development Board obviously is the lead body that is been tasked with attracting investment, looking after investors, and making sure that the investors have long-term growth potential in Bahrain and the region. And so we're very upfront with that. We act as your partner on the ground, looking at how we can support your efforts. What we would do is we'll understand what you're trying to do, what markets you're trying to reach, and we will deploy resources and support from the government that will help you to achieve those objectives. And in addition to the EDB, there are many other institutions that are also part of our partner network locally in Bahrain that are also designed to provide on-the-ground support, including Export Bahrain, which has already signed a strategic partnership agreement with the Hong Kong Trade and Development Council recently. And obviously, we have these investment promotion and protection agreements, which are very effective tools that will help protect you as an investor accessing the Bahrain and the GCC markets. We would like to look into how we can, again, support your projects in particular, give you insight on the incentives that are offered. Bahrain is very much driven on incentives. And I think anybody who's looking into an analysis of the competitive advantage of operating within any country in the region, we'll identify that Bahrain has very unique value propositions which are unmatched, not just regionally, but even internationally. From wage support programs, from technical assistance programs, from investment support initiatives, from export facilitation support, and different fast-track support that can be applied to your particular projects. This will help you take advantage of a very low-cost setup environment, very low-cost operating environment, but more importantly, something that has easy access into regional and global markets through our very strategic free trade agreements that we have. One thing that we have that's been very important is obviously we were the first country in the Middle East to introduce a free trade agreement with in the Gulf with the United States. And this is something that we often try to promote as a way to use Bahrain as an intermediary to access the US market, which still represents a huge and opportune market for many projects. Often we always say that you could produce products in China and Hong Kong, assemble them in Bahrain, and re-export them into these other strategic markets, which could be of access. So there's lots of ways that we could adjust the formula for support to allow you to access these markets more easily, using Bahrain as a launch platform for your efforts. Similarly, we have something that's very important, which is an important collaboration with Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, where we have unique agreements with these two countries that no other country has. It's exclusive to Bahrain, which allows any product manufactured in Bahrain to be treated as a national product in both Saudi Arabia and the UAE. So that's very important. If you operate in UAE, you will not get that for Saudi Arabia. If you operate in Saudi Arabia, you will not get that for the UAE. But from Bahrain, you can access both. And so this is very important because it allows you to leverage on the low operating cost strategic positioning of Bahrain, and at the same time, access these huge markets freely through our exclusive relationships and agreements with these two very important large markets in the Gulf. So I hope that today's session will be valued in terms of looking at how we can explore more opportunities with one another. Of course, we will have a Q&A session at the end. We are always on the ground, so I would like to reassure you that it's not a matter of just this webinar. We have Ms. Difei, who is in the audience, is our strategic asset in the region, and obviously the HKBBA is our key support network in the Hong Kong and China market, which are there on the ground and represent our partners always to facilitate inquiries, support, and looking how we can clarify any opportunities for you in Bahrain. So without further ado, I'd like to just hand it over to Ms. Difei, who will provide you with a brief presentation before we get into the Q&A. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Qaedi, for your valuable perspective and for underscoring Bahrain's commitment. Next, we are honored to welcome Dr. Winkle Low, DBSJP, President of the CMA, to share his welcome message. Dr. Low, please.
Dr. Nasser Ali Qaedi, good to see you again online. Mr. Nicholas Ho, Mr. Oscar Zhao. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It's my great pleasure to welcome you to this webinar, jointly organized by the Chinese Manufacturing Association of Hong Kong and the Bahrain Economic Development Board and the Hong Kong Bahrain Business Association. Let me begin by expressing our sincere appreciation to Mr. Oscar Zhao for making my trip to Bahrain possible back in May. It's truly a meaningful and eye-opening journey. I was deeply honored to meet with Minister of Sustainable Development and Chief Executive of the EDB, Minister of Industry and Commerce, and the Chinese Ambassador to Bahrain. This meeting left me feeling inspired and excited about Bahrain including its economic dynamism, forward-looking vision, and openness to international collaboration. And I think many people in Hong Kong have yet to fully tap into this opportunity. The interactions between Hong Kong and Bahrain is gaining momentum. A significant milestone was the signing of the Investment Promotion and Protection Agreement last year. This agreement puts investor confidence and opened the door for capital flow, setting the stage for long-term cooperation between our two economies. Even though we are miles apart, Hong Kong and Bahrain have a lot in common. We are both small in size, yet global in vision. We are champions for free trade and open market, and acting as gateways, such as Hong Kong to mainland China and Asia, and Bahrain to the GCC and the broader Middle East and Africa, the MENA region. Moreover, Bahrain's Economic Vision 2030 closely aligns with Hong Kong's transformation goals, whether it's fintech, AI, the digital economy, or green economy. Our development priorities are remarkably aligned, but there's tons of potential for collaboration in areas such as advanced manufacturing, merchandising, and gold trading, Islamic finance, tourism, professional services, infrastructure, and more. With all the global uncertainty, we've found ourselves drawn even closer together. The Middle East has emerged as a market with incredible potential, particularly for manufacturers and traders seeking to diversify their supply chain and investments. And Bahrain is truly standing out with its strategic location and stable business environment. The CMA is deeply committed to fostering international partnerships. Since returning from Bahrain, we've been spreading the word about the opportunities we found. But today's webinar offers a more direct platform that allows our members to gain first-hand insight from Bahrain's economic leaders, understand the market landscape, and forging meaningful connections. Beyond information sharing, CMA also backs businesses with practical support like halal certification and training services, which are essential for entering Islamic markets. We are ready to facilitate investment, technology transfer, R&D collaboration, and talent exchange, especially in innovation-driven sectors. So, ladies and gentlemen, I firmly believe that today's webinar is just the beginning of the long-term fruitful collaboration between Hong Kong and Bahrain. The CMA looks forward to working closely with the EDB and HKBBA to unlock the full potential of our two economies. Thank you once again for joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Low, for the works and emphasis on the importance of cross-border cooperation. Then, it is our honor to invite Mr. Oscar Chow, Chairman of the HKBBA, to share his welcome remarks. Mr. Chow, please.
Good morning, Dr. Qaedi in Bahrain. Good morning, Dr. Low, Mr. Ho, Difei, and all distinguished guests joining us in Hong Kong. It is a pleasure to welcome you all on behalf of the HKBBA to this important webinar co-hosted with the Bahrain EDB and the CMA. Your presence today, whether joining us in person or online, reflects a shared vision, the belief that cross-border collaboration is not just beneficial, but essential in today's interconnected global economy. Just a few months ago in May, HKBBA had the privilege of participating in arranging high-level delegations from CMA, led by Dr. Low, on the visit to Bahrain. That trip was a meaningful step in deepening mutual understanding between Hong Kong's business community and Bahrain's dynamic and diversified economy. During the visit, we held a fruitful courtesy meeting bringing together top management from all three entities, EDB, CMA, and HKBBA, for the first time in person in Bahrain. That moment was symbolic. Three entities, each with their own expertise and network, coming together to build bridges, explore synergies, and unlock opportunities across our region. Today's webinar is a crystallization of that momentum. As the chairman of HKBBA, I'm proud of the role we play, not just as a connector between Hong Kong and Bahrain, but as an enabler for practical collaboration. We are a bridge built on a shared belief in innovation, trade, and sustainable growth. Bahrain's transformation over the past decade has been remarkable. Its strategic location, business-friendly environment, and commitment to diversified economy make it a natural gateway for the Middle East. At the same time, Hong Kong continues to serve as a hub for finance, logistics, and technology, with deep connections to both mainland China and international markets. With each of our unique positions bridging the respective region and the global market, Hong Kong Bahrain offers unparalleled access and expertise. For the Hong Kong business community, especially those looking to expand into new markets or diversify supply chains, Bahrain offers not just access, but a partner. Today's webinar is designed to explore insights. It's a forum to hear directly from Bahrain's EDB on the opportunities available, the support in play, and the sectors for collaboration. To our friends in EDB and CMA, as well as all our member companies joining us today, your interest is the foundation of this dialogue. HKBBA stands ready to support your exploration, your questions, and your next steps towards Bahrain. Thank you once again to all our partners, speakers, and participants. And I wish you all a productive and engaging webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chow, for your highlights on the advantages of both regions and how communication can bring in more business opportunities. And now, may I invite Mr. Nicholas Ho, Commissioner for Belt and Road of CEDB of Hong Kong Government, to share his words. Mr. Ho, please.
President Winko, Dr. Nazar, Honorary CG Oscar, distinguished guests, good afternoon. It is a great honor to join you all today at the Bahrain Webinar, jointly organized by CMA, the Bahrain Economic Development Board, and the Hong Kong Bahrain Business Association. Last week was the 10th Belt and Road Summit, which was a significant milestone highlighting the growing collaboration between Hong Kong and countries along the Belt and Road. Many countries, including those from Middle East region, have been actively participated in the summit. Now I'm pleased to share with you there are many concrete deliverables from the summit. We have a record number of participants, over 6,200. We have over 100 delegations coming in from different countries. We have a record number of 45 MOUs being signed. And in the past 2 weeks leading up to the summit, we have concluded a total of $1 billion USD Belt and Road investment in Hong Kong, turning vision into reality. Hong Kong and Bahrain have shared many similarities. Both are two dynamic hubs in their own respective region. Hong Kong as Asia's premier international financial center, and Bahrain as a gateway to the Gulf. We also share the values of openness, innovation, and free trade. Bahrain's diversified economy with strength in logistics, manufacturing, and finance complements Hong Kong's expertise in finance services, technology, and unparalleled global connectivity. Today, we have fostered increasing two-way trade and investment flow, creating opportunity for businesses on both sides. A key pillar of this flourishing relationship is Bahrain's active involvement in the Belt and Road Initiative. Since joining the Belt and Road Initiative in 2018, Bahrain has embraced its vision of enhanced connectivity and sustainable development. This commitment was elevated in 2024 with the establishment of a comprehensive strategic partnership between mainland China and Bahrain, expanding cooperation in infrastructure, energy, transportation, renewable energy, and digital economy. Through these efforts, Bahrain is not only advancing its own economic vision 2030, but also contributing to regional stability and growth. Hong Kong, as the super connector and the super value adder, plays a pivotal role in bridging mainland China with global markets. As an active participant, contributor, and beneficiary of the Belt and Road Initiative, Hong Kong leverages its world-class financial services, legal system, logistics infrastructure to facilitate cross-border investment and trade. We act as a springboard for enterprises from the mainland and around the world to access the Belt and Road market, including those in the Gulf. Our role enables seamless financing, risk management, and professional services that support projects across more than 140 participating countries. In this capacity, Hong Kong is ideally positioned to partner with Bahrain, channeling investments into high potential sectors like renewable energy, fintech, innovation and technology, and in particular the green and digital Silk Road. I still recall back in 2023, when the Chief Executive John Lee led a delegation to the Middle East, we had the pleasure to meet with the chairman of Investcorp, a company headquartered and based in Bahrain. And last year, I represent the Hong Kong government to visit Riyadh and witness the setup of the Golden Horizon Fund, a China GCC bilateral fund of around $1 billion USD, also managed by Investcorp, which is based in Bahrain. So the collaboration is just beginning. Another cornerstone in our bilateral relations is the Investment Promotion and Protection Agreement signed between Hong Kong and Bahrain in March 2024, which entered into force on 21st of March 2025. This landmark agreement provides investors from both sides with fair, equitable, and non-discriminatory treatment, along with protection against expropriation and mechanism for dispute resolution. By offering these safeguards, the IPPA is set to boost confidence and encourage greater two-way investment. It opens doors to Bahraini firms to tap into Hong Kong's vibrant market and for Hong Kong businesses to expand into Bahrain's strategic location. Additionally, the Comprehensive Avoidance of Double Taxation Agreement, CDTA, signed between Hong Kong and Bahrain, which was dated back in 2024, has come into force 4th of March this year. Under the CDTA, companies and residents of Hong Kong and Bahrain will not have to pay tax twice on a single source of income. The CDTA will allow them to have certainty on tax liability and save tax when engaging in cross-border business activities, thus providing further impetus to this bilateral trade and investment. Looking ahead, the synergy between our economies holds immense promise. As we navigate global challenges from digital transformation to sustainable development, Hong Kong and Bahrain can lead by example in fostering inclusive growth. And with your support, I'm confident that Hong Kong and Bahrain will seize these opportunities and build even stronger bonds in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ho, for your idea on how Hong Kong and countries on Belt and Road, such as Bahrain, can work even closer. We now move to the core of today's webinar. Please allow me to invite Ms. Difei Pei, Senior Executive, Greater China, International Offices of Bahrain EDB. Representing Bahrain and coming from Beijing, she's here today with us and will come on stage for her presentation. Ms. Pei, please.
Thank you, everyone. I would like to start with a short video just to showcase Bahrain. Thank you. Good Dr. Winston Rowe, Mr. Oscar Cho, Mr. Nicholas Cho, distinguished guests and members of CMA. Thank you very much for this great opportunity to invite me here to officially present Bahrain, our environment and our policies. To start with, very importantly, I would like to pass on the greetings and from His Excellency, the Bahraini Ambassador to China, Dr. Mohammed Sheikh. He fully supports and endorses our event today, and he sends his warm welcome and also deep appreciation to CMA and our honor consulate in HKBBA for continuous efforts to support to promote Bahrain. So here comes the main presentation of today. Invest in Bahrain, and you're investing in a rapidly transforming region. So about Bahrain, some basics of Bahrain. And why investment Bahrain? And last but not least, EDB at the center of the Bahrain effort to support foreign investment. So Bahrain, we're talking about a small size of island comparable to that of Singapore. We have 770 square kilometers in area. We have 1.6 million population, half of not Bahraini, local Bahrainis, and half are expats. We're talking about $47 billion GDP, but surprisingly, out of this small business, out of this small economy, we do enjoy the FDI stock relative to GDP about 96.5%, and even the FDI inflow experienced a 33.8% increase of the past years. And investing Bahrain, you can actually access to a $2 trillion GCC market. Small as it is, surprisingly, Bahrain economy is very diversified. So we're proud to say that we're first country in the region to find out oil and scale the operation of oil fields. However, we're also one of the first to diversify the economy away from oil. But as for last year, we see that 17% of the GDP contribution comes from financial services and also insurance activities, and then followed by advanced manufacturing. And of course, oil still contributes to 14% of the overall GDP. It follows by public administration, construction, and so on. So you see a very evenly spread sectors across different areas of the GDP. And based on this, we identified strategic sectors as financial services, ICT, manufacturing, logistics, and tourism. And I'll elaborate more on the opportunities and enabling policies in different sectors. So why invest in Bahrain? We believe these are key drivers to attract foreign investment into Bahrain. We believe you're investing in Bahrain, you're investing in a good social and economic environment that can be conducive to maximizing your profits. You're investing in a strategic location. You're investing in and supported by very talented local people. Last but not least, you are handled by trustworthy partners. On the corporate side, Bahrain has offers very competitive tax regimes. We have zero local corporate tax. And I'm happy to say that Bahrain is the only country in the region, GCC plus Egypt, that still offers zero corporate tax. We have zero personal income tax, no wealth tax, no capital gain tax. And we do have a 15% domestic minimum top-up tax, which is a universal policy applied to all GCC countries under the framework of OECD, and it's only applied to multinationals with global revenue mixed or exceeding 750 million euros. So it won't affect most of the business, medium-sized, small-sized doing business in Bahrain. Apart from the very welcome tax regime, we do offer very flexible and business environment. So in Bahrain, most of the sectors, we will have 100% foreign ownership allowed. And to emphasize on that, Bahrain, we do not have the restrictions on free zone. Unlike some of the neighbors that when they do business, when manufacture within free zones, they're out of the free zone, even within the boundary, it has different policies. But in Bahrain, you can consider the whole kingdom as a free zone island, and you can benefit all these development policies within the kingdom. And you have 100% the taxation for capital profits and dividends. And Bahrain enjoys is ranking #1 in MENA for investment and trade freedom. To further make your business easy in the kingdom, we are quite cost-effective in GCC, and we do have third-party reports. Cost of doing business reported by Ernst & Young have the evaluation that Bahrain enjoys on average. Of course, it's different from different sectors, but on average, you have 30 to 40% of lower cost compared to our neighbors. And we're talking about cost-effective, not only about doing business here, but also living here in Bahrain. So we see the Bahrain average cost of living is 51 lower than GCC neighbors, but still you enjoy very world standard quality of life. On the profit side, for those brands who have been following the trend in the market that Middle Eastern countries, in order to boost its own local value chain or local industry value ecosystem, in recent years, it's very much emphasized on creating local content. That we encourage foreign investors to localize in the region, hire local people, and to contribute to local economy. Bahrain obviously also followed suit. We do have our in-country value program, called CMA program, is to measure the contribution of factories in the national economy development. But the beauty of the CMA program of Bahrain is that, as Dr. Nasser said, that it has a similar connectivity with that of Saudi and that of UAE. So once you produce in Bahrain, you achieve 40% of local value add, and you're certified in making product. When your Bahrain product participates in Saudi or UAE government tenders, public tenders, you're treated as a Saudi product or UAE product. At the same time, you manufacture in Bahrain, you benefit from the enabler policies, you benefit from the grants in Bahrain, you benefit of lower cost of doing business here. So that we believe is provides a great access of the goods and services from Bahrain to the region. Secondly, talking about investing in Bahrain, we're talking about investing in a very strategic location. So in Bahrain, we enjoy very strategic access to not only GCC, MENA region, but that of the world. And it's not only about the physical connectivity. That means in Bahrain, we enjoy very close distance between the seaport, airport, and also the causeway. That makes you driving 30 minutes, 40 minutes to eastern province of Saudi Arabia. It's not only about physical connectivity, it's also about trade connectivity. Like Dr. Nasser said, that we enjoy 9 free trade agreements across 25 countries in the world. And obviously, we have the unified markets within GCC, that you don't have any tariffs within the region, and you have unified import and export rules. But of course, you can access to more than 20 greater Arab FTA countries. So that literally makes you have access to the GCC and also wider MENA region, including North African countries. We enjoyed the free trade agreement with the United States of America. And at the same time, with the most updated tariff policies, Bahrain still enjoys 10% of actual tariffs to the United States, still maintain the lowest among the world countries. And we do have Chinese companies benefiting from free trade agreements in manufacturing in Bahrain. The company is in a refrigerant and accessory business. And before this tariff wave, they shipped from Bahrain, from their Bahrain plant, zero tariff from Bahrain to USA. And by that time, they have about 60% of output from Bahrain plant to USA. And after this tariff wave now, they've enjoyed 10% from Bahrain to USA, where they ship from China. It faced 86% of tariff. So now they're adjusting their Bahrain manufacturing line to further improve the 90% of their Bahrain output shipped from Bahrain to the United States. And Bahrain do enjoy the Singapore FTA and European Free Trade Association FTA, and Bahrain is in free trade negotiation finalizing stage with China, with India, and some other Asian countries. So with the footprint will further expand. These are some of the bilateral economic agreements, including the agreements that you mentioned signed with Hong Kong and Mainland. Except that I believe the true gem of Bahrain economy lies in its talented people. So we are talking about a very young population and very driven workforce. So the median age of Bahrain is 33 years old, where I checked on mainland median age is 40, and Hong Kong is 47. So we're talking about tapping into a very young, driven, and strong purchasing power population in Bahrain. And the education background is very high, and we see very strong enrollment in STEM. We have a very strong bilingual local workforce. You don't need to worry about language, speaking Arabic or not. For me, I've been working for EDB almost 10 years. I don't speak very fluent in Arabic, but I still can work very closely with my colleagues, and most of our investors are English speaking, and there are no issues with communication. You got excellent gender balanced workforce. Last but not least, we have a very strong government mandate to further support upskilling the local workforce. And all this makes the Bahrain a very easy and ideal attraction to global talent. We're talking about living in Bahrain, you're talking about a very digitalized governance and public services. It's a very safe place to be. And it's very tolerant and welcoming to society. So just taking a religion as an example, Bahrain, obviously 70% of population are Muslims. It's about 10% of Catholics. You find the largest actually Catholic cathedral in Bahrain, and Pope Francis visited Bahrain in 2022. We had Jewish synagogues. We have Indian temples in Bahrain. So Bahrain is a very small but very diversified and very tolerant society to live in. We have international 38 firms. And we have St. Christopher's ranked the top 100 in the world. And Bahrain International School offers very different kinds of curriculum for resident students. And recent years, we also have the golden residencies and the golden license that to further enhance our position to attract international investors and international residents. So let's say that your journey to Bahrain will be handheld by very trustworthy public and private partners. And Bahrain EDB stands as core of this Twin Bahrain program that is unique in connecting the public and private sectors to foster an innovation business environment. And Twin Bahrain actually includes main decision makers and regulators in the kingdom, like the Ministry of Industry and Commerce, like Samkin, like Central Bank of Bahrain, if you're in a fintech and the financial service sector, and EDB, me, myself, and also my colleagues who work on a daily basis with connecting investors with regulators and decision makers. Samkin is one of our key strategic partners that they are actually the National Labor Fund, and they provide subsidies and grants and support to investors that hire local Bahrainis, and it has wage subsidies, training, upskilling subsidies. For instance, if you want to hire Bahrainis and have them upskilled and further trained back in Hong Kong headquarters and sent back to Bahrain, then this part of cost, certification, trainings, upskilling, is all 100% covered by Bahrain government. We must do it. At the same time, the latter part is the talent related, and the Ron has part, you will see that the company also offers programs to production related machinery, innovation programs, marketing, and even working capital subsidies. And this is Golden Residency. It is another program to further promote our position in the region. And it's applicable to Bahrain employees property owners, retirees, and professional individuals. It gives a permanent residency with no restrictions on length of stay. It actually helps the residents, the outspoken residents, to have a Bahraini national ID card, granting access to a wide range of essential public services. So it offers many different kinds and also prioritizes the channel for the investment activities. So we're talking about the Bahrain economy, what more specific opportunities we offer. Like I said, that we have strategic sectors, tourism and real estate, of course, is one of them. And so we've seen that, interestingly, Bahrain have a 1.5 million population, but last year we've welcomed 1.14 million international visitors. And that actually boosts our real estate and tourism sector. So hospitality, F&B are some of the key sectors here. And Bahrain obviously is the home to a thriving industrial sector. We do have our national champion, Alba. It's the largest single-site smelter globally, excluding China, and it produces 2% of the global aluminum with high purity and good quality. And we do have a very branded name in midstream aluminum, such as cables, straws, seeds, all kinds of profiles. And we have the national strategy to support even going down the manufacturing line to have more value-added downstream aluminum products. You enjoyed high-quality infrastructures, be it the drawland and also tributes. And like I said, that we have very strong connectivity, physical connectivity and flexibility with partners in the region and in the world. Talking about financial services related, Bahrain, financial services is the largest contributor to our GDP. And in Bahrain, we do have a very renowned and world-renowned regulator, a single regulator across different financial services in the market. It's called Central Bank of Bahrain. It's a very, very open-minded and pro-innovation regulator. And the Bahrain CBD actually is the first regulator in the region to launch sandbox to test new fintech technologies. And of course, you're all supported by very talented and strong local workforce. Last but not least, the ICT. Bahrain is home to AWS, the first and still largest hyperscale data center in the region. And we are working very heavily to build an ecosystem based on the AWS services and other data center services. And we actually see a very cost effectiveness and also robust telecom infrastructure to build around the sector to further support the ICT related content. So what we do, EDB is the investment promotion agency of the kingdom, chaired by His Royal Highness the Prince and the Prime Minister of the kingdom. So what we do is really to serve the investors from A to Z, with handhold investors of their investment journey in the kingdom. So we'll start with your rough idea or interest in the region. You are trying to evaluate the different countries' policies. You're trying to clarify some of the policies in Bahrain. Down to that, if you're really interested, you want to visit Bahrain, you want to check on a certain previous facility, you want to talk to CBD, you want to network with local partners. And then further down to the journey, if you're really serious about setting up in Bahrain, we can support you with registration, with signing up the land lease, and etc. And even down to the journey of aftercare services. For instance, I myself support with many aftercare service of Chinese companies already established in Bahrain. So we'll be there with you all the time. You do see some interesting companies, very renowned logos here that to testify Bahrain's enabling environment. And we do have some living example of Chinese companies, manufacturers, providing service and technology in Bahrain. And that is all for my presentation. I'd like to take on questions to elaborate more on this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Pei, for the clear and comprehensive overview of Bahrain's business landscape. The opportunities you shared are valuable, especially for our Hong Kong forward-thinking business community. We now move to an interactive Q&A section. It's your chance to ask questions directly to our Bahrain EDB representatives. Moderating this section is Mr. Ivan Tam, MH, Secretary General of the HKBBA. Mr. Tam, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this Q&A sections. We just heard from Dr. Nasser a very nice introductory remarks and also a very detailed presentations from Difei for advantages in doing business in Bahrain. So I think and I believe that you must have some questions or clarifications that you would like to make. And they are happy to take some questions from the floor and also from those attending online. So if you have any questions for those in the hall, you can raise your hand. And also for those online, you can use the Q&A tab or using the raising the hand button. Okay, so before you answer your to ask your questions, please state your name and also company and organization. So may I now open the floor for questions? Thank you.
Thank you. This is Robert Locke from CMA. I'm the vice president. The presentation gave us a lot of information about Bahrain, and it seemed to be very good. And especially for tests, it's going to be like a field test for almost everything. But my question is that geographically, Bahrain is pretty much in the middle of GCC. And if we going to open up, let's say we're going to open up a distribution center over there, apart from the test breaks, and also is there anything else for like opening the where how we can subsidize or something like that? We can much more like getting the benefit from that. And the other question is about I think Ada is pretty much close to Bahrain. And what would be the difference between if I'm going to choose location, or why I need to go to Bahrain rather than to Thank you.
Yes, thank you. I think this is indeed a very common questions and concern for those exploring the markets in the Middle East. So, Dr. Nasser or Difei, so we would like to answer the first one.
I think Difei probably can answer the first part of the question, and I'll answer the second part.
Yes, sure. So Difei, the first one. Thank you.
So Bahrain offers a very business-friendly environment. Like you said, that there's no free zone restrictions, and you can set up anywhere in the country, enjoys 100% ownership, and there's no capital like the restrictions or flow of controls. You can benefit from duty-free imports and re-exports, especially goods that are redistributed in the region. And you can actually benefit from duty-free access to 25 countries, which represents about 33% of the total world GDP. And talking about logistics more specifically, actually, we provide a quite competitive land prices. And we have pre-built or even built-to-suit warehouses and facilities that that's offered by private developers. And usually you got 20 years of renewable land lease with full property rights. And last but not least, I think Bahrain is being a very small country. It has its unique advantage in connecting the sea to the air and also to the causeway. And especially when you ship from Bahrain to Saudi Arabia, including very prioritized access to Saudi Arabia and also clear and fast, streamlined customs clearance. In addition, like I said, we work very heavily with our sister entity called Tamkin, the Labor Fund, that would provide wage subsidies, upskilling, training programs, and also all kinds of enterprise support.
So if I can also add to that. So basically, when you raise an important question about what's the value, distinct value between locating or having a presence in Bahrain vis-a-vis a neighboring country or other parts of the region. We are deliberately positioning Bahrain as a test bed access point into the MENA region. So you as a company looking to access the Middle East and the Gulf region in particular for the first time, need to have a safe, reliable partner of where you're looking to locate your business and your investments. So what we do in Bahrain is that you'll find that in terms of setup costs, we are one of the lowest setup cost markets in the region. With operating costs and others. So when you're looking across multiple sectors from logistics, financial services, manufacturing, ICT, we are 30 to even 70% cheaper than neighboring countries in terms of operating costs, in terms of wages, cost of living, and other elements there. At the same time, the incentives that we provide are also unmatched. So one of the things that Difei touched upon is the support that we provide, let's say, for example, for labor. So you as a company looking to operate in Bahrain, the government can and will subsidize on average 50% of the salaries of your Bahraini workforce. In addition, they will provide 100% training coverage for your Bahraini workforce as well. And that even means that if it means, and the training that we're talking about is anything that is required by your company. So we do not dictate the training. Whatever training is required, even in the home market in Hong Kong or China or any other market, we will cover the cost of taking those staff to that market and getting them trained as per your requirements. Additionally, we also provide technical assistance support in terms of grants for procurement of equipment, manufacturing equipment, technology equipment, and others. So this covers up to 50% of the cost of the equipment to a certain cap as well. In addition to this, we provide full export support in terms of export financing at competitive rates. We provide our competitive free trade agreements and others which are not available in other markets in the Gulf as well. So when you put the combination of all these variables together, it gives you a very comfortable, low-cost environment to work on. At the same time, we always try to position Bahrain as a way to test the regional market. So we say, come and set up in Bahrain, test the market before you go larger into the GCC. And so this is where something that we can assist. And as the EDB, we provide that very strong incentive approach. The decision-making in Bahrain for all of this is very easy. And I think this is something that also lets us stand out regionally. Because we are small, we can make decisions a lot faster. As was mentioned, the Bahrain Economic Development Board is chaired by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, a testament to the Prime Minister, a testament to the priority that is given to looking after the investment portfolio of the country. And what we do is we make sure that if you, for example, have a golden license or any other type of investment, we will go the extra mile to make sure that you get what you need. We've even gone in many previous cases where, based upon a certain investments that occurred, we have changed laws, we have introduced regulations, we have done this in very short period of time just to accommodate different types of investments. So we're very open, we're very nimble, and we're looking to, oftentimes, I would say, we need to be a little bit more vocal about our competitive advantage, because I think that not a lot of people know how cost-effective and beneficial it is to do business in Bahrain. But this is what we're here for today, to communicate this and elaborate further on how we can incentivize your setup in Bahrain.
Thank you, Dr. So hope that can answer your question.
Yes, yeah. And I give you a very attractive package of deal from Bahrain. And also, yeah, you're right. Small is beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So any more questions? Oh, hi. Thank you. Thank you, Thomas. So perhaps, Doctor, do you mind to take that question?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question. I think the mic is not working. I cannot hear his question.
So, Doctor, his question is on the RWA, so the stable funds. So, is stable funds available in Bahrain?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Fine. So, Doctor, so his question is whether the stable funds is available in Bahrain. What is the policy for these kinds of real wealth activity?
Yeah. So basically, again, one of the key issues that we work on, and especially when we're looking at these sorts of inquiries, we work very closely with our stakeholders and the rest of the government to look at how we can evaluate policies regarding to any type of venture looking to come in here. So we have very close collaboration with the Central Bank of Bahrain, which is obviously introducing new legislations that is covering this particular area. It's something that we want to work collaboratively with the private sector and with stakeholders and investors to look at how we can enhance and improve this. As I said, nothing is off the table when you're looking at how we want to regulate these types of policies. What we like to do is hear from the investor themselves. I mean, I'll give you another example of how we've done this with many other investors. So when we've worked with other investors looking into establishing data centers in Bahrain, one of the key concerns that they had or things that they wanted to introduce was the issue of data sovereignty. So how that affects the business and how they can affect that the legal implications for future development. And so Bahrain, in a period of a very short space of time, introduced a data sovereignty law based upon the requirements of the investors that was designed, again, to allow for independent legal jurisdiction in the host country for the data that is hosted in Bahrain. So we were the first country in the world to introduce that, and that shows our responsibility. So when it comes to these types of initiatives, we are looking to evaluate this and explore these with the investors to see how we can support their efforts.
Thank you. Thank you, Doctor. So, any more questions?
Yeah, I sorry, I also could not hear his mic. Could you repeat his question, please? I'm sorry, Alfred, still cannot hear his mic. If you could just repeat his question to me.
Can you hear?
East, could you repeat it again? And now I can hear. Yes.
You can hear. Okay, good. When we visit Saudi Arabia and Qatar in May, we understand this Saudi Arabian government, when we invest in Saudi Arabia, the Saudi Arabian government will offer 50% of interest-free loan to the foreign investment. And the Qatar government even have 80% interest-free loan for 15 to 20 years. Do you have this sort of policy in the Bahrain government?
Yeah, actually, I'm happy to say that we were the one that first introduced that type of a policy in the region over 15 years ago. So prior to me being in the EDB, I was also at Temkeen, where we had introduced a enterprise financing program, which not only provided subsidized interest, but also subsidized the guarantee on the loan as well on behalf of the company. So It's something that we work very closely with the banks to look at how we can incentivize through different types of subsidies on interest and other points as well, which we can develop. So this is definitely something where Bahrain has led the way for in the region.
So what's the percentage?
It depends really. It depends on the program and the project, but it can go up to 50%.
Okay. So one more question in the floor.
Hello, my name is Michael Yu. I'm from CMA, also the board member of CMA. My question is that we are interested in starting more business in the Gulf region. As you said that Bahrain is very friendly, also suitable for our first trial to the region. And I want to know a little bit more about the manufacturing infrastructure and logistics. Where are there a lot of warehouse facilities available for rent rather than we have to go there and build ourselves? And also about the shipping, all that shipping schedule and things like that. Would that be also very sufficient? Because Bahrain is a very smaller country than like UAE and other countries. Thank you.
Yeah, very important question. I think one thing that you will see on the ground in Bahrain, that there is a huge investments happening in infrastructure development, logistics parks, industrial zones, and other areas. So let me start by looking at the industrial zones and parks going around Bahrain. So we have, again, because we're a smaller country, we are strategically, these assets are well located within and nearby each other in the country. So the port is next to the industrial zone, which is next to very close proximity to the causeways and the airport and others and so on. So there's a lot of synergies between the ecosystem and how the logistics and the manufacturing coordinate each other. Similarly, we have very competitive rates when it comes to industrial lands and plots. So in our industrial zones, the lands are offered at approximately $11 per square meter per year. So this is one of the lowest costs, again, in terms of operating in a particular industrial zone. We have logistics partners in the private sector that are logistics warehousing locations and others. Depending on which proximity you want to be, let's say if you're closer to the aluminium sector, looking into closer to be with Alba, or whether you're liking to the food services and other types of logistics. So it really is something that we are investing quite heavily in. We have several expansion projects for our industrial and logistics and warehousing zones going around the country, both from the public sector and from the private sector as well. We have expansion projects in our ports and of our overall road infrastructure, which is of critical importance. We have the newest airport in the region where we're expanding currently the different facilities. We're home to DHL in the region. So we are constantly looking to invest in the assets that allow for more smoother logistics flow in the region, given that we have over 25 different free trade agreements that are designed to accelerate your ability to access these markets. We are investing heavily in new infrastructure, especially bridges. So in addition to the current bridge between Bahrain and Saudi Arabia, we have a second bridge that is expected to be completed by 2030 due to manage the sheer volume of both commercial and consumer traffic. And obviously, we're also going to have another bridge linking Bahrain and Qatar, also due by around 2030 as well. And this will create essentially Bahrain to be a strategic logistics intermediary between the Southern Gulf and the Northern Gulf, where it will be the fastest point to reach markets in Saudi Arabia or in UAE vis-a-vis Bahrain. And this will also be connected via the high-speed rail network as well. So it's going to enhance Bahrain's strategic positioning as an easy access point logistically both land, air, and sea into these regional markets, which we are looking very forward to.
Dr. Nasser, to add to some kind of perspective, I think if you're interested in logistics and logistics plus manufacturing, then there are plenty of opportunities that you can explore. So in Bahrain, you do have land to, of course, use your own, but of course we do have existing projects invested, ready to use reduced facilities, and we are also working with the real estate arm of the sovereign fund and also some leading Chinese logistic property developers to explore the more opportunities around the logistic property investment and development side. And also in Bahrain, we recently had the new concept of logistic bounded zone, where within the logistic warehouses, you are allowed to have a simple assembly or some value add activities within bounded zone, and then transit ship out of Bahrain to the region. So there are many different opportunities, and we are, as the EDB, we are the bridge of many different players, China, regional, sovereign, not sovereign, public private, to maximize the position of. So I'm happy to provide more information.
Thank you.
Just elaborating on that point that Difei mentioned as well. I mean, when you're looking at any of your companies who are looking to locate, what we do as the EDB is we will evaluate your full proposal in terms of the project that you're looking to invest or explore into Bahrain. We will do market research for you. We will assess different elements of support that you may require in order to enhance the public value proposition, assist you with partnerships, locations, dialogue with different entities. Basically, we act as your one-stop shop when it comes to engagements with Bahrain. So you as a company would not need to go and speak to every government ministry to explore an opportunity in terms of access to land or a policy or regulation or that. You will be dealing purely with the Economic Development Board, where you will have an account manager that will look after all your requirements, and that account manager will be the one that will engage and advise based upon what will be required in order for you to have a complete picture on what's your best appropriate next course of action, whether you're setting up or growing within the region.
Thank you. So there is a couple of questions to be raised in the board. I don't know whether there is any questions for those who attend online who want to make for Dr. Nasser or Difei. No? Okay. So in interest of time, we can take one more question. So is there anyone who wants to make any questions? Hi, Martin. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Qaedi, as you know, I'm Marvin from CMA too. I'm in the electronic businesses. So in terms of manufacturing, which most of us are in this industry, the main not issues, the main incentive for us to be in mainland or in Asia is because of the supply chain, which is very abundant and very efficient, flexible, easy to get to, and also low cost. But obviously in Bahrain, the cost of the investment is very low, as you mentioned earlier. But the supply chain is a big issue for us manufacturers. So I'm not sure if there's any big mega company already in Bahrain or going to be in Bahrain that will help certain industries. So we will kind of go for the flow. We don't want to be guinea pig. We just want to know there's some established players in there, so we could sort of get on the ride and hopefully lower our costs further. Thank you.
Yeah, I think there are different players that you could definitely leverage on for that. So obviously, when looking at the supply chain, incredibly important for the manufacturing sector, especially when you're trying to lower costs and access different market regions. But this represents one of the parts of the opportunity that we wanted to discuss very closely with the CMA and looking how we can assist you to access different particular opportunities. I'll let Difei respond on the issue of the different players that are already in the market from China or the region itself, and how you could potentially follow suit with that. So Difei, if you could elaborate a little bit more.
Yeah, sure. So there are plenty manufacturers and also some brand name in other sectors already operating in Bahrain some for quite many years. For instance, we have, I would say the largest manufacturer in Bahrain from China is CPIC Fiberglass. It produces 110,000 tons per year of fiberglass. And being one of the major names in the world producing fiberglass, now we see the trend that CPIC brings its downstream partners to Bahrain. Actually, we do have the MC containers. They have the fiberglass thermoplastic composites now registering Bahrain, trying to bring down the value chain of the fiberglass industry. And like I said, one of the anchor company or the national champion would be the aluminum of Bahrain, Alba, and it produce high purity ingots, contribute to the 2% of the world. And we do have midstream players in Bahrain with the sheets, cables, wires, rods, and all this mid-level product, and that we are attracting more downstream manufacturers. Like we have aluminum packaging companies from China. We do have aluminum windows and cladding companies from China now producing from Bahrain and shipped to Europe and the United States. We have a leading name called I2. They are the case I mentioned, benefiting from FTA with the United States. It's refrigerants and accessories. We have Brett, the commercial freezer and a refrigerator manufacturer from China. And we do have some points in discussion with, for instance, LED manufacturing and its power sports helmets and even some consumer goods manufacturing in Bahrain. And we do have a big national state-owned companies like CMA, CNEC, construction, social housing, and commercial housing in Bahrain. But now we're seeing that it's traditional contractors now moving to use Bahrain as a testbed for the new technologies like 3D printing or sustainable shipment and all these green technologies. Last but not least, some technology name like Huawei, it has the MENA regional headquarters in Bahrain, and it's supplying a 5G network through Bahrain to the region. And we do believe that the suppliers of Huawei and 5G related equipment and gadgets can be an interesting place for future investors. And of course, some other names like GD and Kita and other consumer brands will also bring them from Bahrain.
Thank you, Difei.
Yeah, and I think what we often do as well is, depending on the project that's looking to come to Bahrain, we will create the connection points with all the relevant suppliers, both within Bahrain and potentially regionally for you. So we will do that assessment for you as a way to evaluate who your potential suppliers could be within the market.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I understand that you guys may have some other questions, so we are still available for you after the webinar. So perhaps we can take any questions that you may have. And if sometimes it takes a moment getting your thoughts later on, if anything comes to your mind later, so we are on the ground. And please feel free to contact us, Hong Kong Bahrain Business Association. So my office is available anytime that, to offer any assistance that you may require. Thank you so much. Thank you for your questions and participation. And also, once again, thank you, Dr. Nasser and Difei for the insightful answer. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. I wanted to thank you and the team, especially the HKBBA and obviously the CMA for your kind support for hosting this session. It's incredibly important for us to continue this dialogue with you. We've built a very strong network with you over the past few years, and it's something that we want to invest further in. I hope today's session provided you with a little bit further insight into how we can support potential opportunities in the Gulf. The best advice I could give is let us look into your individual requirements. Share with us a proposal on what you would like to do or what you're exploring in general in the region. We will advise you on a business development perspective and look at how this could help you, how it could not assist you. We can provide you with certain guidance, market research assessments on how we can support you, provide you with connection points, partnerships locally with the private sector, and additionally with the government if you're looking to explore any particular venture. We do all of this free of cost, of course, and it is something that we always look forward to welcoming you to Bahrain. And we always say that it's great to present a lot of this information, but the best way to understand and realize many of the opportunities that we have is to see things on the ground. And I think that once you're here, oftentimes they always say that once you're here, people often get very impressed with what is on the table and what we can do and how we can support. And this is where we'd like to work together on. There's a lot of engagements happening this year, both from the EDB side, but as well as from the Bahrain Chamber of Commerce and other stakeholders in terms of roadshows, delegations, and others, and major events happening over the coming period. We warmly welcome you to attend, and would be happy to support that from the different huge events that are happening in Bahrain between now and then that represents strong investment engagement occasions that will almost usually always lead to some sort of partnership or agreement for a particular project. We want to make sure that you consider Bahrain an extension point of the Hong Kong, China, and ASEAN business market, where we can act as your gateway into the region. We will make sure that we provide you with the most cost-effective framework for your operation and provide you with all the necessary support. And one thing that distinguishes us from, let's say, a lot of the other neighboring countries is we don't only work with you on setup. Setup is one aspect of it, and that's a very important aspect to attract your opportunities to come to Bahrain, to support you on your setup and establishment in Bahrain. However, we also, as Difei mentioned earlier in the presentation, emphasize a lot on aftercare. So we work with you beyond the setup to make sure that you are well positioned, you're able to expand, you're looking into market reach, if you're looking to access any particular markets from Bahrain, we also provide the necessary support for that through our different sister agencies in the country, including Export Bahrain and others as well. So I do hope that we can see you on the ground in Bahrain very soon. It's always a pleasure, and I would like to thank all the distinguished guests for participating in today's session, and there's a lot more to explore. So I hope this is not the last. So thank you very much, and we'll hope to see you all in Bahrain very soon.
Thank you once again, Dr. Qaedi, for the thoughtful and inspiring words. That brings us to the end of today's webinar. We are very grateful to all our speakers, organizers, Mr. Ho, and our audience for joining us. If you have any follow-up questions, you may contact Bahrain EDB, CMA, or HKBBA. We are happy to facilitate. We hope that this event will bring you new ideas and more opportunities for future cooperation between Hong Kong and Bahrain. Thank you all and have a wonderful day. See you next time.
Thank you.